Not close.
Let's see. All right, so I am Andrew Warner. I am the Director of Engineering at rapgenius.com, based in Brooklyn and Williamsburg. So, good morning. On this day, we become legendary. I'm like the fly Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Does anyone know what this line means? Anyone? Nobody? Well, in 2007, 2008, if you didn't know what this line meant, you're probably sort of sitting around your dorm room, your bedroom, maybe a coffee shop trying to figure out what it means. If you're lucky, maybe your friend is nearby, they're a huge rap fan, they're maybe a big Kanye fan. If you're unlucky, that friend doesn't exist, or they're not nearby, and so you are screwed. And so, in the lovely 2014, we have this great thing called Google, and you just punch in the line, and the first result every single time is rapgenius.com. So I'll let James type it in here, see what happens. So there we go, we got the first result here. We click on that. We get to a nice page here on the mobile web with the line that you were curious about and the explanation of exactly what it means in context. So this is a line on the Kanye song, Good Morning. And actually it turns out that by any means necessary is a reference to the Malcolm X slogan, by any means necessary. So Kanye's doing a little play on words there. So, from 2009, starting in 2009, the site was just, a single page of one song and two explanations. And now in 2014, thanks to the fact that lyric searches are about 2% of total web searches, Rap Genius now has about 30 million monthly uniques, which is pretty good, half of those are on mobile, and a ton of those users are on iOS, probably 80%. So, we had to do the iOS app, so we got this little open an app button here. So if you click that, we see that it takes us to this nice native view of the exact same thing we saw on mobile web. And we've got the same thing, we've got the line, we've got the explanation, we've got the context and the song, and let's see, what's this? So it looks like we have a list of people. So who are these people? So I guess, you might think like there's this Wizard of Oz thing going on where, you're not really sure who's making these explanations, maybe a crazy team of editors, but actually it's just all crowdsourced information. So, you can see this guy, Ed Money, is responsible for 49% of the explanation. Mabu, who might look familiar, is responsible for 12%. You've got Shaolin Land, responsible for 10%. Lemon, responsible for 9%. So there's a whole list of people who actually explain this line. So that's pretty cool. So what's the sort of beginning view of getting into the app? So let's go to the home screen here. So you can see when you first open the app, you've got the opportunity to search. You can search by lyric, by artist, or by title. And we've also got sort of preloaded a list of songs from your iTunes library, which is pretty neat. So you can see here James has got a Nas song first, and he's got a little Phil Collins, a little Natasha Bedingfield. That's a great song if anyone hasn't heard it, Unwritten. And then below that, we've got 4 nice sections of what's hot on the site right now. So this is sort of like the what's cool, what's kind of trending, popping off on the site in rap, rock, poetry, and news. So all this stuff is fully explained. You can kind of do a deep dive, stay in this nice native feel into some different songs. So I guess let's peek into this Nas song here and actually start looking through. So like I was saying before, this stuff is all crowdsourced. Any yellow lines mean that the line is explained by the community, and white lines means that the line needs explanation or hasn't been explained yet. And there's also these kind of green lines here. So what are these? Let's click into one of these. All right, so this is actually a line explained by Nas himself. And so this is very interesting because even your craziest friend who's obsessed with Nas has even sort of reached out and touched Nas at a concert or something. That's how much they like him. Would never know what this line means because this is actually, this line comes from a story that Nas saw on TV while he was recording a song. And actually stuck with him because he saw his friend's mom on TV or something. So that's something you would never know unless you were best friends with Nas or you happen to be in the studio and saw him watching this. So that I think is pretty compelling. So let's we got maybe some music situation here. Oh no. There we go. All right, so we got You got a song you guys might recognize? Might not be able to hear it.
With the mic?
Pretty good song. Anybody know this song? It's not rap, but it's still pretty good. James, can we use the app to actually figure this out? Let's see. This gonna work? Oh my God! Okay, there we go. Come on, Tom likes this. So this is actually the app figuring out what song we are listening to and bringing us right to that song so that we can get the explanation. So I actually was pretty curious about what this, smell of colitas rising up through the air line means. So actually, like any cryptic reference in the 70s song, he's talking about drugs. Drugs, Like in this case, colitas are the sort of clippings from the end of a nugget, I guess a weed nugget, the very tip. So that's pretty compelling, I think. But really, rap and rock, this is all just kind of text. So we've got this explanation thing. Why not put this to use for other types of content? So one thing that happened recently, which was really exciting, is a very prominent blogger, prominent econ blogger, Felix Salmon, posted a great article on our site about the sort of Bitcoin rise of popularity in Bitcoin, and prominent VC, Ben Horowitz, actually sort of disagreed and wanted to comment on some of his points, and so he created a verified annotation on the song and sort of responded to Felix Salmon's points, and Felix Salmon then jumped in and clapped back at him. So this is pretty exciting. You can actually see their conversation right on Rap Genius. These are two people that you really want to hear comments about Bitcoin, and it's right on the site with the context right there, which is extremely exciting. But I think I want to get into a little bit about how we actually sort of build this thing. So far I've shown you some sort of text, which is interesting, but so it seems like this is a pretty easy thing to build, but actually Rap Genius has a lot of sort of rich media. So we're going to go to the song Heroku's Ugly Secret. This is actually an article, the most famous Rap Genius engineering article about performance problems on Heroku's platform. So we actually kind of found out that Heroku was telling people that everything was fine on apps that were actually running very slowly in a lot of cases, including ours. And so this page has a lot of sort of rich media on it that we have to be able to support when building the app. So we've got sort of images, inline, animated GIFs, we've got YouTube embeds, we've got headers, we've got block quotes, we've got lists, we've got tables. This is a great GIF here. And so, in order to kind of build this, it was not easy. We had to sort of give you sort of what a browser does, but with a native feel. So the sort of naive implementation would have been, okay, just shove a web view in there, and it'll probably work fine, which would have been true, but it would have been very similar to what we have on mobile web, and so not that exciting. So we had to build this sort of custom transport protocol and custom rendering layout engine, which is extremely smooth, and you can scroll quickly even past kind of crazy animated GIFs that one of our engineers made on this page. So this is pretty exciting. So how did we actually go about building this? So we built this app very quickly in about 2 months. And so what did that involve? So one big philosophy at Rap Genius in terms of engineering is this idea of worse is better. So Tom has a great talk about this that if you just Google Rap Genius worse is better, you can check out, but I'll give a brief summary of it, which is basically we want to release the worst minimum possible thing early and often and fix it, figure out what customers like, what they don't like, and iterate on it quickly. On the web that works really well because we can release 20 to 30 times even in one day and sort of kill features that we don't like or fix them in real time. On iOS, it's a little bit more risky because it might take Apple 5 to 7 days to even approve an app, and you could have lost, especially if it's your initial release, if people don't like it, they're never coming back, they're going to rate it 2 stars, they're going to give you terrible reviews, and you're kind of hosed. So how did we do this in the iOS world? We actually sort of decided to have feature scarcity, but polish the features that we did make. So this app is a baby. It's 1% of what we have on the web, which you can check out, but features that we did decide to build are really polished. So as I said, we've got smooth scrolling. You can check out any text on the site. You can check out the annotations. You can see who annotated it. You can sign in. You can vote. You can do all these things. I showed you the recognition technology and the library integration. And I guess actually, James, what do people think of this app? Oh my God, is that real? 2,400 5-star ratings? That's right, someone confirm this? So this is pretty good, right? There's actually one in here that says, I want to change my sexuality to app-sexual and marry this app. Not something I made up, and it wasn't me, my bad. So this is pretty great. We also got 500,000 downloads in the first month, which is pretty exciting. Rap Genius, even at 1% of the features we actually want to build, is already your pocket guide to all of human culture. So delete every other app on your phone. You don't need it unless it's some kind of alien culture app. Rap Genius. Give it up.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew and the Rap Genius team. Greatly appreciate that wonderful.